Let's say you want to start your day. How should we approach it? At 4:15, around 5 o'clock, something happened, but not exactly what we wanted to happen. I mean, there was some movement, some volume came in, but not the kind of volume we were hoping for. This is a higher time frame, and it's really not having its effect. This range box that we have here, or even this lower box, is having an effect on the market. Let's look at an educational point together. It's clearer on Ethereum. We came up with a lot of volume and hit a resistance. When we corrected, the volume decreased. When you hit a resistance with high volume, during the correction, the volume drops. There's a chance this area will be tested again. We talked about this yesterday too. Now, we've come back and tested this area again, but with less volume, less momentum, less acceleration than the previous wave. So, what happens here? Look, if we had come in here with more momentum and tested this level, we could have said, okay, there's a good chance this area will break, and even a whale might push through it, even on the second touch. So let's set a stop buy. But now that our volume is dropped, you need to wait for a candle close here. It might even be better to get other confirmations, like on the 15-minute chart, for example. For you, the RSI is overbought. The 15-minute RSI is overbought, which means the 15-minute RSI trend is bullish. The 15-minute trend is bullish, and RSI is also overbought at 64.39. It's not at 70 yet. I also talked to you about these two coming together, saying that whenever these two meet, at some point we start ranging. At some point it starts ranging. This happens, and then I showed you in the past, I think on the daily time frame, or maybe the 4-hour, I can't remember, but I showed you that ranging happens. Okay, I mentioned this as a bit of an educational point, so let's remember it now. That means we can open a long position, for example on Ethereum. If it comes to 29.81 and closes a candle there, you can go ahead and open your long position. Aren't you going to set a stop buy? I don't set a stop buy. If a really big whale comes through here, for example, and a candle closes here, which would make the position size big, what should I do? I shouldn't open it. I have to wait and see if it reacts here. That means I don't open that one. The stop for that should be small. Guys, if we want to open a position, we have to open it with a small stop. If your ADX is pointing down, on any chart you look at, if the ADX is pointing down, it means your chart's volatility is low. Now, if you're lucky and it starts going up and the volatility increases, remember that you should open it with a big stop. But if you open it with a big stop, you're taking on more risk. What short position are you opening today? What long position should we open? We should open it with a small stop loss. This is important, what I just told you. Yes, set a small stop loss. Our win rate will probably go down, but if you set a big stop loss, you won't even reach the risk-reward ratio, so that win rate won't even matter anymore. Most of the time, just the chart alone will trigger the risk-reward, especially if your stop loss is too big, okay? So wait for the candle to close here. You can wait on the 1-hour or the 15-minute chart. The 1-hour might be more appealing, but 15 minutes is okay too. Still, the 1-hour candle could be better. What about on the 4-hour chart? It's too late on the 4-hour chart. Just stick with the 1-hour. You can catch the move there. I'll analyze Ethereum for you first because its chart is simpler. Then I'll move on to Bitcoin. Why is Ethereum's chart simpler? Because it's about dominance. In this time frame, Bitcoin has broken this level and come down. Now, these last two candles we have are a bit mixed. There's a little green, a little red. The whole market is kind of taking a breather in a way. In these two candles, it's just resting. Bitcoin dominance is showing a bit of green. So the takeaway is, if we want to move upward, Bitcoin dominance could still continue its decline. It could continue its downward trend. So if we wanted to open a long position right now, altcoins might be a better choice. But is the market really giving us any long positions on a daily time frame at all? No. On the daily, we've just had a strong green candle after this wave, like here. There's a good chance it could start moving in the other direction again. What we're really waiting for, and what would make things a lot easier for us, is for there to be a fake out up here, even if my long position stop gets hit, so that it fakes out down here, comes back and tests this lower area again, tested one more time, and then rises with peace of mind. After that, if this lower area gets tested again, like around 84 or so, then we can open positions much more comfortably, okay? But hey, thanks for watching the video up to this point. Give it a like. If you're following but not liking, I don't get any energy from that. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments. Today, me, Amara, and Parhan will be answering your comments. We have time, so we can read and reply to your comments. Whatever questions you have, just ask, guys. Each comment takes about a minute or two for us to answer, especially if it's a question. So if there are, say, 700 comments, multiply that and it's like 1,400 minutes, okay? Divide that by 60 and see how many hours that is. For example, if we miss a few questions, it's only fair to ask again the next day for those whose questions didn't get answered so we can reply. And if you have any questions, definitely ask. Don't forget to use the BitUnex bonus too. You get a 20% bonus on the amount you deposit. For example, if you deposit $400, you get an $80 bonus, or you need to deposit $500 to get a $100 bonus. You get a 20% bonus, which you can use to trade with 100% of your capital. Keep this in mind. When the bonuses are credited, I know they'll be deposited, so we can try something new, do something different, or open a new kind of position. So without a doubt, we can absolutely do this if we choose to. With that generous bonus, we can very easily and safely open up to 10 different positions and then close them all without any difficulty. Now, about Ethereum itself, did you mention these things here? You know, on the 1 hour chart today, it's much easier and nicer. If it breaks 2870, it gives a short position. Isn't it a bit late? Why? But it does give a position there. It's a good entry trigger. If we look at it on the 15-minute chart, what happens besides this candle here, where there's such a big red volume? If you look closely, throughout this whole move, our volume is decreasing on average. Breaking this level on the 15-minute chart is at 2,922. Hopefully you'll catch the analysis at that time. If it happens with increasing volume, because these two, since there's no momentum, they don't give any data for that. If it happens with increasing volume, it's not a bad entry trigger for a risky position. Don't make your position size or your stop loss too big. Here, your stop loss should be small, like 0.16%. We have the same trigger on Bitcoin too. The thing is, Bitcoin's 15-minute chart really isn't attractive for opening a position at all. Just look at the candles. Sharp, big, sharp, big, sharp, big, sharp. These candles aren't good for trading or opening positions. So for now, the 15-minute chart for Bitcoin is out of the picture. Today, the lower time frame for Bitcoin is the 1 hour chart. The 15-minute doesn't really make sense. It's the same with Bitcoin. If you can open a position below this level, 8 to 6, 6, 7, and even 2 isn't bad. The main one is 541. But the thing is, this box is small, and you're also opening a short position in the middle of the box. If it comes here and gets rejected again at this level, the next one is the one you definitely want to open. If it gets rejected, don't doubt it. Yes, if we open here, the stop should be small, and you should take your risk reward quickly and close out. We're waiting to see what kind of reaction we get here. Will there be a reaction here? If there is a reaction here, guys, meaning if the price comes here and reacts, we catch this wave from here. Remember, we might get stopped out for nothing, or it might come here, reverse, and break this floor. Because the stop is small, it might get hit, but in the next wave, after the break to the downside, we catch it, no problem. We track this wave from here, just like we did at 64,000, just like we did at 85,000, just like we did at 18,000 and at 22,000. We track this wave from the start. If those things happen, I'll come and explain it then. Why are we doing this, Dookie? Can you explain why we're taking this approach? Total is in the same situation as before. We're waiting to reach 3.25 to confirm it. The rest, the chart itself will show us. 3.25 is important for us. If it gets here, it's broken. Even if everything is in overbuy, even if everything is here, we still open a position because there's a chance a whale will break through this level. Okay, so for total, the short position confirmation is just like Bitcoin, below this level. For total, it's the same. Long position confirmation above this level, short position confirmation below. This is what happened. We're waiting for this top to break. Now, should we open a short position? This is right behind the start, even before the breakout. Based on the candle and momentum, you can take your trade. For total 2, what happens is, if it comes here and breaks this, it's clear. 1.24 is for a long position, and breaking this bottom at 1.21 is for a short position. These two are clear. What about C-Daddy? What's its current state? Right now, it's just correcting this bullish trend for us. For now, it's just giving us a correction of this bullish move. Basically, it doesn't give us any special data. This one needs to either come up and test this top again, or it needs to come down and test down there again, or we might even see a sharp drop below 5.695. What do I prefer? My preference is to have it come up and test that area again and get rejected. Honestly, I'd rather see it come back to this level one more time, whether it breaks through and we go long, or it gets rejected and we open a short position. Just standing around here isn't really cool. Standing around here isn't that great. That 6.266 level gives you a short confirmation. If you want to go long, do it on the coins themselves if you get confirmation. Getting confirmation on USDT itself isn't really cool. If you get confirmation, let's go check it out on Bybit. Let's move to a higher time frame too. Look, in this monthly time frame, as long as we're below this week's level, we shouldn't move into the monthly just yet. For now, the trend is still bullish. It really is, and that's the rule for an uptrend. Also, keep in mind, Bitcoin at $87,000, don't get upset about it. It's not really accurate to say Bitcoin is at $87,000. We've been through all this journey together, so remember that, so your perspective stays correct. For example, if we look at this on the 15-minute chart, it needs to range for a few candles here, then maybe a few more candles, a wick, some volatility, and then it'll become clear to us. Even on the 15-minute, it might make a new high. If this continues, we'll go for higher levels. If you check based on the 42, it's not very successful. 56 is one of your levels, and the next level is 36. These two are your support levels. If you look at the 15-minute, it's the same on the monthly. It just takes more time and the volume increases. Don't pay too much attention to this part. On Binance, Bitcoin trading was safe. That's why it looks like this here. This is where the volume is increasing. So in the monthly, that's our situation. It means having a bit of a stop, a bit of caution is logical. A little patience is really reasonable. What about on the weekly? But our support is at 77. We haven't reached it yet. There was a shadow up to around 82, but we're still at support 77 for now. The next one is 53. I'm telling you the support levels so you can get familiar with them ahead of time. So if this breaks, it's not like we're just playing around down here. The next support could be around 53 or 54 for us. These past 4 weeks, the candles have been forming like this, and on the weekly, it's also showing a small candle overall, which makes sense after several big red candles. After that, a small green candle is totally logical. After a big candle, a small candle makes sense. After big candles, a small candle's logical. This happens on the chart, it happens in the market. Next week, our candle might look the same. In some altcoins, our candles don't look like this. I just picked one at random. If you go into the actual thing, into the batch that they pulled out, you'll see there was movement. Okay, so when it looks like this, what about this one? I mean, just like what happened yesterday, we probably won't make a big move right now. So this setup is the same small one. That's why we're taking on less risk. That's also why, on the daily chart, we're waiting for this area to be tested one more time so that it can gain some momentum. The thing is, right now, there aren't a lot of sell orders here. Really, not that many. The issue is that there aren't any buyers in the market at the moment who would push through this area with more confidence for us. Okay? In these 4 hours, this higher low is only counted as long as this support doesn't break. If it breaks, the higher low doesn't count anymore. If it comes down here and makes a lower high, that itself becomes a trigger for us to go short. We'll wait for that break before opening a position. For example, don't open a position here just because, say, on the 15-minute chart, this level broke. If we had an increase in volume, really, if there was a significant move and I could say, yes, there was a volume spike, but we've just been ranging and now the volume is dropped. We've hit another zone and it's still ranging. Even for this previous bullish wave, it wasn't the same. Ethereum and the others were in a different situation because Bitcoin dominance was dropping while this one was ranging. So as long as there isn't a volume increase, I can't say, okay, open here, because there's a chance we might lose this upper level. You have to wait for it to settle at this level, come down here, and see if it gives any reaction. Does it close a candle or not? What about for a short position? On the 1 hour chart, you can open a position below this 8679 level. You can do that. And this is the dominance I'm seeing. When it drops, it'll probably turn green. So altcoins could have a better entry, the best one. Our altcoin dominance gave a green candle yesterday. Let it go, for now. It's not useful for us. 7.53 is broken, which just means we should pay a bit more attention to altcoins. Everyone can do whatever they want for themselves. Maybe they're not so hung up on Bitcoin. 8.33 is broken. That's where we start opening long-term futures on altcoins. Even here, if the market is bullish, we can do this. Yes, in this situation, you can open long-term futures. 8.33. If the market is bullish, you go and find the entry points in futures. 8.86, take the futures profit and use it to buy in spot. That's the plan, and it'll stay the same for another year, even for the next 4 years. This is about the profit from altcoins like Z, that if we get our hands on it, we buy it. As for BTC pairs, if there's good volume coming in and it's making sharp moves, we go after it, we track it. It's not like we're not keeping an eye on it. Thanks a lot for sticking with me up to this point in the video. Complete the instructions if you haven't already. The lesson was short because the market is just like yesterday. There's no need to do anything special. I just wanted to remind you how to approach the market. Around 4 or 5 in the afternoon, I'll set aside some time to analyze altcoins. I'll post the stats in the second channel and in the comments for you. If you want, go check it out. Let's spend another week like this, just taking it easy, and then we'll get serious together. After that, I'll need your focus. You keep starting strategies or doing different things, but next week I'll need your focus. We've got a lot of work to do. We're going to start a new financial management plan, and we need to make money. Between one financial management plan and the next, there's a trade that can make you money, but sometimes starting a new plan can leave you broke again, so you have to sit down and make enough money again. I'm dealing with the same thing right now. I'm working on my financial management, figuring out where I want to buy something, fixing my financial statements, making my investments, deciding how much gold to buy or not to buy, and taking care of all that. Maybe I'll make a video about it for you, in the right way.